Hello, film fans. Welcome to the Film vs. Film podcast. My name is Martin Harries, your host. I'm a filmmaker on occasion, but mainly can't stop yapping about movies. On this podcast, every episode I pick a topic from a film that's coming out at the cinema or on streaming. I pick a favourite film from that topic and battle it out against a guest to decide which film will become the greatest film of all time. If you enjoy this podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and subscribe. Please enjoy part 1. Hello, podsters or podderoonies. If you prefer, we are back again for another month of the podcast, the Film vs. Film podcast, of course. This episode, as Disclosure Day is out, and a little-known filmmaker called Steven Spielberg has directed this one. You might know him a little bit. So we're going to focus this episode on him, our second episode. So this is Steven Spielberg Films 2, the sequel, as our first episode. I mean, we've covered quite a few, I think, Spielberg films in the past, it feels like, but our first one was way back when, many years ago. Jaws versus Catch Me If You Can. I think I want to say that was in 2022, possibly, maybe earlier than that, actually. So quite a long time ago. Yeah, and of course I am joined by a guest, another returning guest, who last won an episode probably around that similar time in 2022. Leigh from Lights Camera Rant. How are you, sir?
Good, and good to see you, man. Thank you very much for having me again. It's, I'd say roughly about that same time. Sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly the record is, but it's something like 1 and 4 or something.
Something like that. Yeah. I feel like every time I come on here, I lose.
It might be different today. Who knows?
Never know.
Because I really love both of these films, but for very different reasons. Kind of interesting as well. We're doing a Spielberg episode, but both films are kind of like his personal films. Which is kind of cool. And I think both of these films would make like a great double bill. And like my choice even kind of feels like a bit of a prequel to your choice in a way.
Yeah, technically, yeah, it really is.
In terms of Spielberg's life and experience, etc. But Leigh, this is the time again. I know everyone probably knows already, but tell us about your podcast and where can we find you, sir?
My podcast is called Lights Camera Rant. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your local podcasts, where we talk about the latest news and we talk about the reviews. But to go to my show, you have to go to this one first, like this, and share, and then come to mine. Because yours is the better one, my good sir.
Oh, stop it. But yes, it's true. You have to actually listen to this one to actually access Leigh's.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
it's true. We set up that way.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, as Disclosure Day is out, what do we make of this one? Are we really excited for this? The earlier reviews are suggesting that Disclosure Day is Spielberg's best film in 20 years, which I guess would put it like his best film since like Munich or something like that. So
yeah, I probably could tell you real quick that what it kicks into. I'm excited for this because like for a long time when it was announced, it was very hush hush. Like he kept it very under wraps. Like the title, what it was going to do, and then when he finally announced it, I was like, okay, so you're returning to something that obviously you are exactly the man for and where your passion is. And look, I can't say... Could you tell me the last Steven Spielberg that really made a huge impact? Like, you saw his name a lot. Everyone was talking about it. Like,
that's quite a good point, because certainly his latest output, I wouldn't say is like, as you said, like doesn't give you like Jurassic Park vibes or E.T. vibes or Indiana Jones vibes. Something like that. So it's quite, when you look at something like, hang on, let me just bring up his thing.
Yeah, like if we go 20 years ago, He would be. We were roughly about. Wow, you were spot on. Munich is nearly exactly 20 years ago. Yeah. Bravo, sir. Bravo.
I mean, I think I've only seen that film maybe a couple of times. It's a really great film, kind of more of an Oscar-y film for Spielberg. But I mean, yeah, I think certainly the last 20 years, like, he's made some great films, like West Side Story. I really loved. The one we're about to talk about, I really loved as well. Probably one of his best, I think, in the past 20 years. But then you look at something like Ready Player One, a very blockbustery film. But when you think about a very different film, but like when you think about that compared to his other kind of blockbustery films, it kind of comes quite low down the pecking order. The post BFG, they're pretty average. Bridge of Spies, again, a bit better, but nothing particularly special. Lincoln, incredibly good for me. Warhorse, I can give that a pass. That
was a big sigh.
Yeah. So I think maybe, like, I don't know, I think certainly in the past, like, 15 years that Spielberg, he's experimenting. He's just trying different things. Because when you think about Spielberg, like, he's very versatile. Like, you can't really put him in a box. I think maybe you could do that in his early part of his career in, like, the 80s and 90s. He was the big, blockbuster guy who worked with George Lucas a lot and John Williams. And you could argue as well that, like, John Williams, like, helps his films a lot in making them incredibly special. Maybe that's quite a harsh point. But...
No, but I think you got a good thread there that you could go down, because that's very true. When you look back and his most iconic movies, and then you look at the movies where he hasn't used John Williams, you're like...
Yeah. I mean, that's very rare when he doesn't. So
yeah.
But I mean, I think certainly maybe John Williams is kind of... I mean, he's one of the best, like, composers in the world that's ever lived in cinema, and I think his music has certainly become more nuanced and more emotionally based, rather than kind of the epic nature of what he was going with in Spielberg's early career. But yeah, but with Disclosure Day, it very much feels like a film that's arcing back to kind of Close Encounters of the Third Kind and E.T., and you've got, like, Emily Blunt in there. They're saying this is one of Emily Blunt's, like, best performances. And it's very much, like, sort of conspiracy based as well. So I feel like it definitely has more similarities to Close Encounters of the Third Kind more than anything else. So yeah, you got, like, who else? You got Colin Firth in there, Josh O'Connor. It's got some kind of intriguing action scenes in there, and so what I quite like about the trailer is that you don't really know how this is going to play out necessarily. I know it's probably going to be kind of very much the government versus Emily Blunt / Josh O'Connor or whatever, Colin Firth. I don't know, but you got Colin Domingo in there as well. So yeah, I'm very excited for it. I feel like maybe Disclosure Day is kind of the film that he maybe wanted to make back in the 70s with Close Encounters. I don't know, we'll see. But I am very excited for it because it's got great people.
It's got a great cast, and I'm all up for it. And even, like, when you're talking about the trailer, like, it feels very Steven Spielberg-ish. Like, it just has that vibe on it. And like it's gonna be set. Like, you think it's gonna be this way, it's gonna be this way, but it's gonna be something epic to talk about. And not to mention how rarity is that not only doing a Steven Spielberg film, we've got a Christopher Nolan film, and I always forget how to spell how to pronounce his last name. Denis
Villeneuve.
That's it. Yeah. All in 1 year.
Yeah, that's quite a treat, isn't it? Only if Martin Scorsese had his new film out this year as well.
No, yeah, it'd be nah. He's too busy appearing in Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's an actor now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has always acted in his own films in his early career as well. So, Anyway, let's get to your choice first, then, Leigh. What did you go for Steven Spielberg films?
So I chose the Fabelmans because this film This has been on my wish list for a long time, and I've been meaning to watch it because I reading about it. I just haven't had time to get around to watching this. So when you messaged me about what do you want to pick, I'm like, well, let's see, what can I pick from one of the greatest directors of all time's filmography? That's a long list to choose from. And I thought I'd pick this one because I thought, A, I haven't seen it, and B, I haven't recorded and doing any review on it or doing anything about it, so I thought this would be a perfect one to go to. Little did I know actually how old this film is now.
Yeah, it's like 4 years. Yeah.
I thought it was a lot sooner, so I was like, oh, okay, I've really put this on the back burner for a while.
Maybe that's actually an interesting point, because obviously Steven Spielberg is writing this as well, Disclosure Day. So maybe that reflects the reason why there's a bit of a gap between the Fabelmans and Disclosure Day, because he's actually putting pen to paper with this, like he did with Close Encounters as well. So, which he wrote.
Having a quick look here, this might be his longest gap between directing movies, because everything else, probably if I'm really going back, it's probably his biggest gap is between his first film and his second, from 1964 to 1971. But everything else has been roughly in that 2 to 3 year mark. So yeah, this would probably be one of his biggest gaps that he had. And we do know, because I remember reading that the West Side Story took a lot out of him. Yeah.
Well, even just from a pressure point of view, because it's a remake. Not that he's not accustomed to making remakes, because he's done The War of the Worlds in the past, but this is quite a beloved remake, West Side Story. So yeah, I wouldn't. That doesn't surprise me at all if that were true. But with the Fabelmans, then, Leigh, what happens in the Fabelmans?
The Fabelmans is loosely, is it loosely the right word for it? Sort of biopic about Steven Spielberg's life from when he was a kid, seeing the journey with his family and how he got his passion for film. It's a beautiful period piece film, and we get to see that journey. And it's a good journey too. It's a sad journey, a lot sadder than I expected it to be. And I do regret keeping this on the back burner. I'm like, why didn't I watch this sooner?
Yeah, I'm in your camp as well. I've not actually seen this until a few days ago. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. So initial reactions for me, I think, I think it really is one of Spielberg's best films. And I think I would probably put it in my top 10. To be honest, I probably will do a ranking at some point. I don't know. I just love the fact that Spielberg has this incredible ability of just kind of marrying up kind of the filmmaking process of how Sammy, the main character, is able to like discover how to make films, as well as Spielberg has this ability to kind of incorporate kind of his family dynamics in kind of the filmmaking process as well, as the film goes on, and how that informs how he makes films. And I just think that was just so cleverly done by Steven Spielberg. And I don't think he does anything terribly flashy with the camera.
No.
I mean, what's great about Spielberg is that he has this just uncanny ability to just be incredibly flamboyant without you even really noticing. I mean, that's kind of that's a sign of an incredibly good director, is when you don't notice the directing at all, and you don't really with Spielberg. You're so immersed with it. And I just not many filmmakers do this, where he always keeps things in really deep focus, i.e. keeping everything in kind of in view, in clarity, and you don't have a lot of like really deep focus on stuff, which a lot of directors do, which is cool or whatever, but like Spielberg rarely does that, which it just gives you this immersive feel. And so Spielberg is able to do more with the camera, and you get all these kind of great one-ers, as you call it, and that you associate with Spielberg that you don't notice. Because a lot of filmmakers make it a point of like having these long takes, whereas like Spielberg does it all the time, but no one brags about it. They're just like, it's just Spielberg magic. I'm like,
it's just normal. It's what he does.
Yeah.
Nothing special. Yeah.
So initial reactions for you, Leigh? What did you make of the Fabelmans?
My initial reaction, because I remember when this came out, they didn't have too great reviews, and after watching it, I'm like, what? Like, I thought it was really good. I'm like, where did the negative reviews come from? Like, yeah, this wasn't a Jurassic Park, this wasn't a Ready Player One, this wasn't a West Side Story, but it's a nice, beautiful story. And probably one thing I really connected with it was like with especially Sammy with his characters, like getting excited about filmmaking and all the back end stuff, and you almost forget to yourself, like, that's right, that's what that's all about. Like, that's the magic of what film can do to you, and I really like this from start to finish. I haven't seen West Side Story, but I'm not a musical guy, and I'm sure I would like this a lot more than West Side Story. But, when you look at that and go, wow, this is partially on your life, on what it took you to get from here to here. Like, that's not exactly straightforward for a kid being moved around and around and around.
Yeah, being relocated a lot. Yeah, that was kind of really interesting in how the film was structured that way. But yeah, let's get into the main discussion then. So I really like the opening scenes. I found it fascinating where this kind of little boy, Sammy Fabelman, sees a movie at a cinema for the first time.
Yeah.
The greatest show on earth, I think it's called. Like, this train crash has like a great impression on him, and it's quite visceral and violent act that happens because this train like kills a man in a car, and the car goes like flying. Then Sammy's like, I want a train set for Hanukkah
to do the same thing.
Yeah. And then Sammy has this fascination that he wants to kind of recreate that train crash using the train set, and Spielberg uses these quite close shots of the model train, like in the movie he saw, and it crashes exactly like in the movie, so that's not kind of actually what happened on the train set crash, to get this feeling across for Sammy again. But it's interesting that Sammy doesn't fully understand the implications of what's actually happening in the scene from the film, that people died.
People are dying, kid. It's
yeah.
But don't get too attached.
Yeah, but it's just this kind of spectacle that has captured Sammy's mind and his imagination at this stage in kind of his filmmaking career, if you want to call it that at this stage. But I love that the film doesn't do anything with what's actually happening in the people in the spectacle that they did die, that Sammy's creating, because he's just a kid. I love that as a kind of a starting point for this character's story, that it's just, he's so immersed into cinema at a very kind of surface level at this stage.
And that's like how, that's how it all draws you in. Because I'm pretty sure, like as I mentioned, like we've all felt like that. We've all felt that when we watched a movie for the first time, watching Star Wars for the first time, watching Indiana Jones for the first time, and being like, I'm going to grab a whip and do this. I'm going to grab a stick and turn this into a lightsaber. Like, that was a good scene. I felt like that really connected to you, like that. We've all felt that.
Yeah. I guess for me, it was The Lion King. I saw it when I was very small, and I just shouted out, "That's a mouse!" and then the mouse dies very quickly. And I did not like that.
No.
Probably it explains my fear for mice as well. I do not like those creatures, those demon creatures.
D+ for The Lion King forever.
Yeah, no, I love The Lion King now, but obviously.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of kind of the filmmaking scenes with Sammy, kind of the first half of the film, and the process of filming and physically cutting the film together. That was just quite satisfying to see. But I enjoyed even more kind of like the obstacles Sammy has to deal with. His friends not throwing enough dust on the stagecoach scene, like his friends in general just talking to him relentlessly at the cinema while watching a movie for inspiration.
Again, we've all felt that.
Yeah. Then there's moments where he's not satisfied with what he's filmed, like saying it looks fake, with the gunshots of his Western that he made. So I enjoyed this kind of character growth of Sammy, that he's not simply satisfied yet with what he's making, which I kind of loved, and not like, hey mum, look what I've made. No, nothing's worth showing yet at this stage. And I kind of like that progression as well, that he does show the Western at the end at his scout troop, that he poked holes in the film to create the gunfire effect.
Which was,
I was wondering that when I was watching, how the hell did he make the gun flashes? I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
From that period of time, I'm like, yeah, you can't use cap for that. Like, how did you do that with the film still going? No, that was cool. And not to mention, I love the shot because you were talking about the war film, when he has the guy to do the somber shot of like what you've done, but watching all the dead bodies rise up, run around the back of the camera, all fall down, ready for the long shot. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. And now in film, it's like, no, we'll CGI all the dead bodies. It's fine. It's so good.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like in films today, sometimes you just feel like things just look too easy to put up on screen, and there's no like love and care. Sometimes maybe that's a bit harsh when you see all kind of these, as James Mangold puts it, CGI fuck-a-thon on screen. But yeah, but I love how kind of Spielberg gets like really nuanced at times with this film. Like I really loved kind of the campfire scene where Mitzi, Michelle Williams' character, Sammy's mum, is having fun, which is fair to say, and like decides to have like a dance around the campfire. Benny, Sammy's dad's best friend, points out to Sammy, shouldn't you be filming this? And like Sammy's like, there's not enough light. So Benny puts his car lights on so Sammy can film her dancing backlit from these big car lights. And again, like Sammy's filming it for the spectacle because it looks great. But his father, Paul Dano, is watching her with a sense that something's not right with Mitzi, and she's certainly going through a tough time. And Sammy's sister is concerned for her as well because everyone can see through her dress.
It's see-through. It's see-through.
Yeah. So that's kind of another surface level kind of concern with the sister character as well. So I liked how Spielberg is able to create these different perspectives for each of these characters watching Mitzi dance. And you've even got like Benny as well. Seth Rogen's character is watching her in more of a, even though you don't particularly get much of his perspective in the scene, because I think they are kind of hiding that aspect of the story at that point, but you probably get the sense, like on a rewatch as well, that there's more of kind of a love alluring perspective from him watching Mitzi dance like that. Like, oh, she looks, amazing, because there's that a genuine like love between those two characters. So it's just an incredible scene to set up that through this just simple dance sequence that everyone is seeing and feeling different things in this one moment. I think it's just really genius from Spielberg there.
No, and you're right, and I do like the fact of something as simple as just turning on those cart lights and then boom, which we see when he looks back at the film. Because I remember thinking, I was like, wow, this camp scene's gone for a really long time. I don't know, I just felt it. I was like, okay, what's this? Oh no, it's like, okay, the dance scene makes sense, but I was like watching Paul Dano like get the fire going. I'm like, all right.
Oh yeah.
I was like, all right, sure, there's a plot to this. But
well, yeah, I think that was quite telling as well with the family dynamics, that the kids weren't particularly interested in how like a fire is made and how you can set up this kind of triangle frame with sticks. No one really cared, and everyone wanted to just play on the tree with Benny and their mum, So
cool story, Dad. Thanks for doing the fire. Anyway, a tree that you can bend.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cooler. Yeah. But no, it feels like all these moments just add up perfectly, don't they? Like it's all these little notches.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many like great little moments for each character that kind of have a great payoff towards the end of the film. And again, going back to like Spielberg's genius with, as I said at the top of the show, where he's able to like incorporate kind of the filming aspect of how Sammy is learning filmmaking with marrying up kind of his family experiences and how he's dealing with emotions. I think it's encapsulated in these sequence in a moment in the film where there's these series of sequences that shows off like his incredible genius for me, where so Sammy has this kind of difficult relationship with his father, Paul Dano. Like his father is very supportive of his movies, but says it's kind of a nice hobby for Sammy to have. But he always wants like Sammy to concentrate on what's important. You know, the stuff
accounting, like was accounting,
accounting and like learning to drive and stuff like that. You know, his father knows what his mother is struggling with. You know, the death of her mother, and there certainly seems to be some mental health issues with her. So Sammy's father tells him to make it like a home video of their camping trip to cheer up his mother, but Sammy doesn't want to do that. He wants to make his World War II movie with his friends. Then his uncle comes to stay for a night or so and basically says during his time at the circus, his vision of art tore his family away from him. So he tells Sammy that if you're going to like pursue making a career in movies, you're going to have to like sacrifice your family in some way. So he decides to make like the campfire home video first for his mum. But within that, he discovers that his mum is potentially and is actually having an affair with his dad's best friend, Benny, Seth Rogen's character. And it's like Sammy is discovering what real human emotion actually looks like on screen that he's created. So he decides not to show that in his film when he shows it to his family. Yes, to protect his family, but also maybe that he doesn't fully know how to incorporate like human emotion into his characters, into his films yet. That maybe he should like pursue his dream projects, because ultimately his own family struggles he has no control over anyway. With that, you have like Michelle Williams playing like the piano during the whole sequence, while Paul Dano is looking like he knows like the inevitable while watching and listening to her play. Like Spielberg packs so much in here, and it's just incredible filmmaking for me from Spielberg. That kind of that long sequence, and just really great.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. You also think the fact that would suck so much for a kid, that your passion has unlocked this dark secret to your family. And not to mention, I'd be annoyed too. I'm like, hey, Dad, I've got 40 people coming tomorrow, and you want me to make this damn home video of my camping trip? Like, but no, but like it's that was really nice, and it would be hard too. It's very rare to the fact that someone makes a biopic of their own life and they've directed as well. So you'd be going through those emotions again, really.
Yeah,
and you would know that more than someone reading your biography and trying to show it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of interesting as well. What follows is that Sammy tries to direct emotion to like one of his actors for his war film later on, which is definitely done more for humor, but seems to work to a certain extent. But we never really see it properly on like during the screening of it, which I think is intentional, because what follows on from that is his own kind of emotions kind of boiling over with his mother, that he's hiding this affair and he doesn't know how to handle it in that situation, like before the swimming test, and Michelle Williams like hits him on the back. But it's really interesting with kind of that when he's talking to kind of that lead actor in that war film. He's just like trying to get him to like get emotions out of him, and he's really, I think it does work, but like for the film, but he doesn't know how to kind of direct it properly yet, because he's just like walking off into the distance, and you don't really see his face. You don't really see his face, so he knows that like emotion in characters for his film is important, but he doesn't know how to like put it on screen yet. And yet he's already kind of done that already with the campfire stuff inadvertently. So yeah, it's just a really fascinating thing that like Spielberg is trying to show, that he kind of already knows how to like portray emotion, yet it's just getting it out of him properly in more of a narrative form, if you know what I mean. It's all in there, it's just getting it out of him for his own kind of family experience, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. and that was a great parallel to see that he's watched this emotion happen unintentionally in its pure format to him trying to do it, and basically spitting out this guy to be like, you're sad, everyone's dead. Oh, we didn't kill everyone. No, you didn't kill everyone. They killed everyone, but you have to make sure that you're sad at showing this. And that I feel like you feel for the dude. He's like, okay,
there's so much to deal with.
There's so much to deal with. And obviously it did ruin him because he kept walking. Cut.
Yeah, I know that was kind of definitely made kind of for humor, but I totally understand kind of the underlying thing there that Spielberg is trying to say, that yeah, this is definitely part of like Sammy's kind of development as a filmmaker in kind of dealing with emotions on screen. Let's talk a bit more about kind of Michelle Williams, because I think she's incredible in kind of the whole film. But that scene where Sammy is showing her the footage of her with Benny at the camp, this shock and realization that she's been seen, and then the outpouring of emotion and guilt when she embraces Sammy is incredible to watch. Just makes it look so like genuine and easy. Yeah, Michelle Williams is incredible in this film. Do you have like a favorite moment from her, Leigh?
I would always say my thing is in the cupboard too, because you don't see the film. We see one flash of the film, and it's just a scene that we haven't seen before, and then you just watch it. Pretty much like a whole world just starts to crumble right there and there, and pretty much is a catalyst for the rest of the change that's going to happen. That scene, and maybe just also a scene when she's running away from the tornado with the kids, and she almost has that split moment with the trolleys going past, and just like, everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. And we just have to make sure. I'm like, I don't know if I would feel that with a tornado, with all this happening. I'd be getting the F out there as quickly as possible. But anyway, I think that is too. But she's the complete emotional anchor for this entire film between her and Sammy. That's the main two, but she is really like, you feel her entire wave go through.
Yeah, it's really interesting, that kind of tornado scene, because it's clearly very dangerous outside. Obviously, I don't really have any experience with tornadoes in the UK.
No, I
don't know if you do, but
no,
not
we
really.
don't. No, not down here.
Okay, yeah. So there's definitely like a little bit of a mental health angle here that's going on, but what's kind of really interesting is that the film is very much from the perspective of Sammy all the time. So you never really get like a full in-depth look about what's going on. I mean, this is set in the 1950s, so mental health wasn't a thing at all back then. So it's just really interesting that you see it from a very particular perspective, because it feels like in that moment with the tornado scene that, like, right from the off, you feel like Sammy's mum and dad are struggling. There is just something not right about Sammy's mum and dad. And you feel like during that tornado scene that his mum just kind of wants to feel something. She wants excitement. And she doesn't get that from Paul Dano.
To be fair, would anyone feel that with Paul Dano? I just feel like every film I've seen him in, I'm like, you still kind of like play the same type of character. Like, you're never going to be an action man, ever.
Well, no, he's an incredible actor, and he definitely plays his role amazingly. But yeah, I think it's just quite an extraordinary thing that, because it just feels very random when she just gets all the kids in the car and just drives off and just tries to see the tornado, even though it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, let's drive to it. And so casual too. Like, just the kids are like, oh my God, it's a tornado. I'm like, I would be freaking out. I'd be like, burn down the hatches. Like, it's kind of like there.
Yeah.
But you're right. But you're right.
I do like this kind of lack of explanation of why she's doing this, because, like, well, Sammy has no idea what the fuck's going on in this moment either.
No. Cool ride.
So there's no reason to explain that, really.
No, and you're right. It's also not a descent into madness, but you see that she does get worse. Not to mention her mother was a bitch in that first. At the dinner scene, I was like, wow, you're all right. Deep down, you're my friend too. And deep down, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Yeah, all right. Especially the Seth Rogen. But then, as you see going down between the monkey as well.
Yeah, I was a bit like, okay, she's got a monkey now. What the hell? And you definitely get, at that point in the film, like, yeah, there's definitely mental health issues here. Like, why on earth are you getting a monkey for the family? Again, the film is kind of making it look like that this is kind of like Benny's replacement or something. Like, she has to get someone, she has to get something to have fun again, you know, because the kids are all kind of having a tough time. They're going through their hormonal period in their life, I guess, becoming teenagers, you know, at school and stuff. So the fun aspect of her life is kind of gone completely now, with the kids as well. So at first you're like, what the hell is going on? But it makes sense in a way.
Yeah, it does. And like that line, just on top of my head, and she's like, Bert's like, Benny, they've got no place for him at work. But Mitzi's like, yeah, but you've took away my friend. Like, and it wasn't his best friend. She goes, they took away my friend. And that's another thing you realize, like, yeah, he was definitely your friend, wasn't he?
Yeah. Because you just felt like there's no chemistry between Paul Dano and Seth Rogen at all, you know?
No.
Not really. It's definitely just this kind of work colleague vibe that's going on between them and nothing more. No, not at all. Especially when he's when they're driving to California and he's like, I had a wonderful dream. Me and Benny were having an argument and I slogged him. Wonderful dream. I'm like, it's not awkward at all. Let's keep driving.
Yeah, which I'm sure, it looks like it's going to still take another hour or so. So I'm sure that would be a fun car ride.
Yeah, definitely. Getting into the second half of the film, when they do go in and live in California, Sam at this point kind of loses faith in his family's support of him becoming a filmmaker, and he doesn't pick up his camera again. Like, Sammy gets bullied at this new school, and Mitzi is struggling even more in adopting a monkey, as we've said. And in a way, like, Spielberg is the one himself kind of bringing more of his own dynamic directional style in these scenes in place of the filmmaking of Sammy, which comes to that scene where, like, Sammy gets punched in the face from the bullies. That you feel like Spielberg is the one replacing kind of the filmmaking stuff in a way, with him becoming more dynamic in that way. Then Sammy gets like a girlfriend that inspires him to like borrow her dad's camera and starts filming this kind of school beach event. Then when they move into their new home in California, Sammy is kind of filming the family as they move in, but his dad is the one directing everyone and not him. And the emotions look fake, especially on Michelle Williams as Paul Dano is carrying her in the house.
Yeah.
And then the inevitable happens and Sammy's parents split up. But what's interesting is... Yeah. But what's interesting is that Sammy takes a back seat in this big family argument and is observing what's going on. Then, like then a short moment happens where Sammy sees himself filming the argument in the mirror. And it's like he finally kind of knows how to like shoot emotional, real people for his films now. And then you learn later that he's already kind of done that almost kind of subconsciously by showing these bully characters who they really are and exposing them emotionally without realizing in the school beach video, which I found absolutely fascinating. And it's like filmmaking is kind of the only way he can process kind of the hardship of his family falling apart, or his parents falling apart. And I just love how Spielberg develops like Sammy's filmmaking progression in the film, and how like the family dynamics kind of develop. It's just incredible stuff for me from Spielberg. Really, really great.
It is, because like I was talking with the emotional side of things, is that getting to this point, to this, it's not like he's going to film school or anything like that. Like he's really learned all this from just, again, obviously just picking up a camera. So everything he's learned on how to shoot, like a war thing, shoot just a home video, but each time we do see him in that film, it's all just another notch, again, as I said, but he's all discovering it as he's filming, that you think, well, no one's really taught you any of this. Like, you've just accidentally, a little bit, learned how to do all this.
And he's kind of also just fighting against kind of his relationship with his mum and his dad as well, because it's kind of, his dad gives him this kind of passive support, like, I'll support you in this, I'll buy you kind of the editing machine and whatever, but also he's also like, but you need to be good at school. And even to the point where you kind of move on to like near the end of the film, when he goes to college or whatever, he still is like to his dad, I hate college, I hate it, I just want to make films. So there's always, I think, certainly another theme in this film is this sense of control. He wants control in his life, and he gets control in his life through filmmaking, whereas like his dad is very much trying to keep control of how Sammy wants him to like live his life, to actually pursue a decent, safe, money-earning career. Whereas obviously a lot of people know that filmmaking is not that at all. No.
Like, this is the real world, son. You gotta pick up, you gotta do the real jobs instead of being a silly filmmaking business. And it's a funny irony, because you're literally telling a kid who goes on to be one of the greatest directors of all time.
Yeah. And then on the other side, you have his mum, who is very supportive of his filmmaking, but not in like a great mental state at all to fully like be supportive of Sammy. Like, she's yearning to be with her kind of soulmate, I guess, her real partner in Benny. So there's a lot of conflict with that character, and Sam is just stuck in the middle, and he has to just learn all this filmmaking and learn about human relationships on his own almost, and without like a proper foundation of support from his parents and his family as well. So
and to add on top of that is like you're dealing with your family, your dad's side, your mum's side, Bernie's side, and not to mention, I would also understand the fact you're kind of losing that filmmaking ability when the guy that technically your mum's had an affair with gives you the camera, and tells you to keep doing the filmmaking. I'm like, I would feel too, but like, yeah, mate, no.
He's always got this constant reminder, I guess, that this other guy is sleeping with my mum. When he's using this camera. So it's just like, even though he's like a really nice guy, Seth Rogen plays him wonderfully.
The guy that's your mum has had the affair with has bought you a camera and is like really telling you to go for it, when your dad's just gone, play it safe, I'll point you this, make sure to do your algebra and your drive, and keep going with that. So it creates a great dynamic all the way through.
Yeah, definitely, because Benny is a character that is really supportive of Sammy. I mean, he's not in it a lot, but when you do have scenes of Benny and Sammy together, he's like, yeah, like, you're amazing, Sam. Like, you need to do this. Like, I'm going to buy you this camera and you're going to take it, and I'm not going to take no as an answer. You have a talent here and I recognize it. And yet Sam is like, what? He can't see kind of the appreciation that he's getting because he's not his dad. It's like, I don't understand why you're giving me all this encouragement and praise. You know, it does as a kid, it doesn't make sense to him because he's not family. It's just, he's a very mixed up child in terms of he doesn't know who he should get, who he should get support from, who he should listen to. You know, it's just such a great film in terms of that.
Your mum's a bit nuts. The guy who supports you the most is having an affair with your mum. Your dad's a lemon.
Favorite scene for you though, Leigh? What's your favorite scene?
Favorite scene? Definitely the donut with the Jew hole. That was weird. Hanging from the locker. Just trying to think. I think my favorite scene is probably just one of the early ones of just him when making the war film, putting it together, and watching his excitement as seeing it come together, seeing everyone else watch it, and just the small part of it's filmmaking. That's what it does to people, and that's what any of us that was directing or creating a movie. That's what you want to make. I think that's probably one of my favorite scenes is watching. I felt very humbled by watching that. What's yours?
Mine is the last one, the very last scene. It was quite difficult to choose. I think the dancing scene at the campfire I thought was fantastic as well. There's a lot of long sequences that just work so well, but I think it all comes down to the kind of this last scene with Sammy meeting John Ford, the great legendary John Ford. And I was like, holy shit, that's David Lynch playing John Ford. Yeah, which I found incredible. God,
I wasn't expecting that.
I loved that line that he says, "Now remember this, when the horizon's at the bottom, it's interesting. When the horizon's at the top, it's interesting. When the horizon's in the middle, it's boring as shit. Now good luck to you. And get the fuck out of my office." And then he says, "Thank you. My pleasure." And then I kind of loved how Spielberg ends the film with kind of this directional joke as Sammy is walking away. Spielberg clunkily and of course very knowingly tilts the camera down so the horizon is at the bottom. Spielberg is definitely a director that's so good that he has this kind of ability to carry these amazing films in such an expressive way that you don't notice the flair, as I said at the top of the show. So it makes the joke even more funny to me. It's just a great way to end it.
The extra punch.
Yeah. I love that. Just seeing David Lynch was just wow, that's amazing.
I know when it came on screen, I was like, all right, wasn't expecting you, but it works. Let's do that.
Yeah. So directional score then for me.
Wow. Inception much? Inception much?
Yeah, I think it's so good. I think I would feel bad to like give it any less than a 9, to be honest. So yeah, I'd give it like a straight 9. I think.
I'm pretty much. I was thinking like 8. I'm like, there's really not much. Like, there's really not much more you could have done for him to do. Like every shot was worth it. How it all came together was worth it. And there's some beautiful shots throughout the entire film. And again, I guess it just adds that unique ability, the fact that you're doing a film about your own life.
And I feel like as well that he's able to like have that almost an emotional separation with some scenes and really get to the bottom of like what he's actually doing with scene to scene, with shot to shot. So not everyone can do that, I don't think. No, he reminds you on why he's Mr. Spielberg. Yeah. So you're going straight 8?
It's funny because you always ask for you always make me think twice. You always 8.5. I get 8.5. Yeah.
So, funny lines then, interesting lines. I got quite a bunch.
Go for it.
It tastes funny, Bernie. It tastes funny on a plastic fork. Deep down inside of me, it's none of your business. Of course, it's safe. I'm your mother. That was great. We're junkies, and art is our drug. From his uncle. That was good.
That was a good one.
Sticking your head in the mouths of lions was balls. Making sure the lion don't eat my head. That's art.
That's art. That was good. I was like, true.
So you want me to, like, act and stuff? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a great, simple line when he's trying to direct the soldier during his war film.
Yes.
I just thought we were having fun, dude. Why are you getting so deep about my character?
Yeah. I'm just here to shoot people and walk away.
Yeah.
I had one. I was like, "Oh, why'd you get a monkey?" Because I needed to laugh.
It's kind of dark, that bit as well.
Yeah,
with that line.
It's simple.
Yeah, I quite like the scenes with Sammy and his girlfriend as well. They were quite sweet, and I kind of loved them. Very religious as well, which I totally understand in that kind of time period as well. It was very much like that, but I kind of like the scene as well from her where she says, "Tomorrow after school, want to meet out back behind the bleachers?" Yeah, cool. We can pray some more then.
Yeah, true. I thought another one that was good was guilt. Guilt is a wasted emotion, and she said that. I was like, that's a good one.
Oh, one of the kind of a great moment for Sammy when he's, kind of shouting at the bullies towards the end. And he says, "I have a monkey at home that's smarter than you, you dumb anti-Semitic asshole."
Yes.
That was fantastic.
No, it was a lot of good one-liners in this.
That was definitely like a punching the air moment for Sammy. I'm like, yes, well done, Sammy.
Yes.
Screenplay score for me, I think this is really impressive, and I think this is one of Spielberg's best films from a writing point of view. I know he doesn't write a lot of his films, but like from adapting what's on the page, I think this is just kind of almost genuine like masterpiece level of writing for me. So yeah, I'll go like a 9.4, I think is what I'm feeling. Just as we've said, just the way he's able to just incorporate Sammy's journey with filmmaking and making it feel so relatable and making it feel so kind of emotionally raw as well. In such like a subtle way as well, and not being like massively showy about what we're seeing on screen as well. I think it's just really, really well done from Spielberg.
Not hitting you over the head with it, being like, it's a sad scene.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I give it a 9. Hang on. I'll give it a 9.1.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite performance for you, Leigh? Who I'm with?
Look, I know probably a lot of people would say definitely Michelle, and like what we have said there, she's the complete emotional anchor. But I give it to Sammy. I give it to Sammy on, I think does a great job of just showing a kid going through all that, experiencing that all for the first time. Some things that a kid should never experience, and then also experiencing it through a lens as well.
Yeah, Gabriel Labella plays Sammy Fabelman. Yeah, he's fantastic as well. But I think I will go with Michelle Williams. I think she's just a wonderful actress, and I feel like she's one of these actors that you can really just kind of see into her soul, kind of thing. I know it's quite a wanky thing to say, but
no.
I think she's just so emotive that you always kind of know what she's feeling all the time. And she's fantastic in this. And so I know, carry on.
I was going to say, did you feel all that when you watched her in Venom?
No. Yeah, I think when she's in Venom, I feel like, the paycheck is amazing for her. But yeah, but no, I think she's still good in it. But like, this is like another level. You're working with Spielberg. You got to bring your A game, and you don't need to bring your A game for a paycheck movie, to be honest.
No,
I know that sounds like really harsh, but anyway,
it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
but no, like it's completely justified. Like she does such a good job with this film.
Yeah, acting score though for me, yeah, it's so. I've said many times, like on the podcast before, that child performances can really kind of piss me off quite easily. Did not happen here.
I remember you saying
did not happen here whatsoever. Nearly dropped my pen, by the way. So yeah, Michelle Williams is great. Like, even Seth Rogen is like really great here. Like, I don't think you can accuse him in this of like, oh, he's just doing his Seth Rogen thing. Because you don't get his like really irritating laugh in this film. Yeah. Maybe you do, but I didn't particularly notice it. It wasn't annoying, and he felt so kind of genuine and earnest in this. So it's a very different role for him, and I really liked it. Paul Dano again is fantastic as this kind of father figure that's almost acknowledges that he's really struggling, that he can't keep his family together. There's just something in his eyes that's always telling you that like he's trying his best, but yeah, the inevitable will happen, and that the family will have to like separate. So yeah, he's fantastic. So I'll go like a 9.2 for me.
I think I'll second that. I think I'll go a 9.2 as well. Because you're right. Like I did notice as well with Seth Rogen, he didn't feel like I know what people say about him, and I trust me, some of the critique is justified, but he didn't feel like a Seth Rogen character through this. Like you're right. I don't remember hearing his iconic laugh. Like I did hear him laugh, but not his big belly laugh at all. But no, and again, like even though we're speaking about Michelle and we're speaking about Gabriel, but Paul Dano does a great job because you feel for him too as the dad, that he knows everything's about to implode at one point.
Absolutely. Right, let's add up the scores then for the Fabelmans.
It's crazy enough. It's just wild to me. Makes sense. This film's budget was only $40 million.
Wow, yeah. The Fabelmans gets 54.4. So
justified.
Super, super impressive. You may win an episode.
So excited.
Until you find out what my film is, people.
Yeah. Trust me, what it's going to be. I know.
That's it for part 1. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out part 2 to see who wins. But don't stop there. Get involved and tell me what your favourite films are relating to the episode. Send us a DM or comment on Instagram and TikTok at Film vs. Film Podcast, for X at FVF_podcast. Plus, we are now on YouTube, so hit that like button and comment there. If you do, I'll give you a shout out on the next episode. Remember, please leave us a 5-star review and subscribe. Pod signing off.